do it again. We gotta do it again.
All right, so me and my baby back, yo.
Me and my baby back.
Me and my baby back. I love my baby. Me and my baby back. That should be a song. Me and my baby back, yo.
We're working on that. It's in production.
Me and my baby back, yo. We back, yo.
Okay, all right.
Stop playing. I don't know what we done told y'all. Oh, what's the thing? You already know.
You already know.
That's my favorite. You already know.
And which confuses me because I don't know. Am I the only one that doesn't know?
I wouldn't ask.
Right?
And I don't want to assume.
Well, somebody is. Who's saying it?
Because then it becomes, you making an ass out of you and me. Or as they said in Samuel Jackson, when you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you and umption.
An umption.
An umption.
Love me some umption.
Umption ass. But yeah, bro, we back. So, and we back with entertainment talk, I think. I think that's the time what we're about to do right now. So, what you got, baby boo? What's in entertainment talk?
So, I don't know if you've heard about Sinead O'Conner. We remember Sinead O'Conner. She did Nothing Compares to You back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is that Prince had written and released that
you didn't
before
know?
her. No, that I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, Prince. In fact, not only, you didn't know he had written it?
No, I knew he had written it. I didn't know he had performed, like he had released it
he has
before her.
version. And then I think since her, he's allowed other people to release versions of it as well.
That I can see. She
Um,
made it, like hers. I don't think I've ever heard his. Hers stands out, of course. I think it's also the way she sang and in the video it was just her head.
yeah.
There was really nothing to the video. It was probably like one of the cheapest things
It was just
made.
It was just that.
That's it. That's what she looked like then.
I get what they were going for because she's supposed to be like aching right now, but
yeah, it's a song that's
But why-
emoting, this deep hurt.
but why is that always the frame that they grab? Like it's it's just
I don't know.
like don't she look like it could be anything. Like she could be
It could be in
crying,
pain.
she could be in pain. Like yeah, like
She could
somebody
smell something bad. No, this is what I see. Like if this was an ink block test, this is my
Exactly.
my truthful answers.
every stinking ass cameraman.
Exactly.
She fought it.
Yeah, like or you just said something dumb and she like, what? Like it could be anything. This is every time I think of Sinead O'Conner, this is the picture that I think about.
Absolutely,
This
absolutely.
is her back then. I knew very little about her. I knew she was Irish, and she had that. That's why she sang that. She had that funky accent or whatever. I knew that she had this really, background growing up and being abused and shit like that.
It sounds like you wasn't really a fan of Sinead O'Connor.
I only knew that song, and then once
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another Sinead
there
O'Connor
was, I
song.
think there was another one, but I think it wasn't a big hit. I can't remember what it
I mean,
is.
she's had hits, so I don't
But
wanna-
once for me, once that song was over and she was really out of the public eye, then I didn't, I lost interest, I guess. But now she's back and she's written a book.
Okay.
And in this book, she talks about Prince threatening to beat the crap out of her in broad daylight while he was chasing her around in a car on an expressway in L.A. And, I didn't know what kind of interaction her and Prince had before. I didn't know that there was, like, they worked together or anything like that. So anyway, she goes on to say in her book that they had met once for a few, I hate when people say stuff like this, a few quiet moments. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Does nothing get said? Do you just look at each other and you know what's up?
Yeah.
It's so strange. And apparently she says that he called her out of the blue and asked if he could send a car to go pick her up to hang out. So I guess she's agreed, and he sends a car, picks her up. The driver says, and she says the driver says nothing. the whole way there. She doesn't really know where she's going. They get there, and it's the way. So the way she's describing this whole interaction, it sounds like the scene out of like not a horror movie, but I guess like a horror movie, like a chase movie. One of those. What do they call them? Those dramas. Those.
What do you mean though? What's with the scene in terms of?
Well, the way she describes it, she's in this car and it's a quiet ride, and the limo driver says nothing. He's quiet, and they drive up to this dimly lit house.
But doesn't that sound kind of Princey?
Yeah, I guess, but it's LA, so.
But I'm just saying, given the persona that Prince portrayed, doesn't that sound a little right on the money?
I'll take that. I guess it could be that.
I would expect the same thing with Michael Jackson, although if they said, and then I got there and there was like monkeys on the Ferris wheel. Then I'm like, yeah, I expect that from Michael Jackson.
You know what? I take that because absolutely, I would like what Michael Jackson said. What do you think? He's got never ranch land.
Obviously,
place.
Bubbles got to have friends.
Exactly. You think he's the only primate in there? No. He's got other things, tigers, bears, probably.
Yeah,
the whole zoo. I mean,
so you're keeping it very Great Gatsby, you know what I'm saying, with the thing, and
it's starting to sound like something out of like Edgar Allan Poe.
I think it's all part of the Prince thing. Like, I'm putting you through the Prince experience.
Yeah, like then she gets dropped out of the limo driver drops her off in front of the house, and he takes off. Which it's like, okay, the driver goes and pulls off somewhere.
Yeah, go on up.
So she rings the doorbell, and for a while he doesn't answer the door, which is very like an artist.
That's
like,
very Princey too.
Where's the staff? Isn't there a butler that answers the door?
Like, there's some rappers that'll do that now. So
exactly, like
that sounds Princey.
First of all, we know people whose houses we go to ring the bell, and we ring it a few times. So, and they're nobodies. So finally she says that the door creaks open and a man wordlessly motions to her to enter.
How does he motion to her?
He wordlessly motions to her. He's like...
So he just beckoned her over.
Yeah,
okay?
like with his head. Like,
but, I mean, why the word play?
I don't know. Maybe because it's in a book. Maybe this is
like
how...
He's just like, he nodded for me to come over, or he...
Exactly. I think this is very... It's very dramatic the way the story's told. It's very dramatic, and it gets even more so dramatic.
I can see her saying wordlessly.
Oh no! Everything in this, I could totally see her saying.
Can't you see that face? Wordlessly.
Wordlessly.
And she probably gave a face.
She's all like wordlessly.
She probably looking at the
driver.
Did
you smell that? It's wordlessly bad.
The limo driver like, why you ain't talking?
It was like, I don't know what to say to her. I don't say nothing. I just drive.
Yeah, I just drive. Like,
that's my job.
Get the fuck out. We're here.
I'm not going to be rude if she asks me something, but I'll just drive. That's my job.
Something tells me. No, let me stop. But okay, so
he wordlessly motions her to enter. Which she did. She says, and she describes his house as these two enormous. She walks into these two enormous reception rooms with aluminum foil covering the windows.
Oh my God!
The windows already.
Why?
I don't know. Why would you have aluminum foil covering? That's a lot of aluminum foil. Like,
yeah, it's crazy,
and it's got to be hot in there. That's. I just can't.
That sounds like a drug house, don't it? Like it sounds
like you don't want to buy curtains, so you put up sheets or aluminum foil. Well,
or you really need to keep the sun out. You know what I mean? Or light in. So you're putting up something that just reflects. Like if you're putting up aluminum foil, you'd be better putting up a towel. Putting up aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is gonna break. It's gonna rip. It's gonna
it wears away.
Yeah, so I would imagine he did have curtains and then aluminum foil, or at least had, what do you call those things that you pull down, the blinds?
The blind.
That I hate after a while to go like, or they just be sticking like.
So, she asks, she calls this person, the guy who answers the door, she calls him a dejected man. I don't know what a dejected man is, but.
I guess he's like put together, like.
And
maybe his clothes and his hair and everything's all messed up.
But you, Sinead O'Conner, walking into Prince's house should keep your opinions to yourself, okay?
Exactly. Once again, it's Prince. So if you're not expecting to go to Billy's house, if Prince was just like regular old Billy, you'd be like, Prince was just a regular dude.
Exactly.
Nobody's expecting that.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess she asks this guy that opens the door, about the aluminum foil, and he says he doesn't like light. Okay, that's what you said. He doesn't like light.
He doesn't like light.
We have in today's, we have blackout curtains. We've had blackout curtains for many, many years that you can buy. So why aluminum foil is the choice? I don't know, but to each his own. I'm not going to tell nobody how to deco their house.
Maybe Prince was like, look, here's $20. Go down to the food line and whatever, food market, and you know what I mean? And you bring back some aluminum foil, man. You know what I'm saying? They probably have multiple uses for the aluminum foil.
I mean, you got to buy those in big industrial packs like the restaurants have, where you just like tear sheets of it.
But he can do it. Like, once again, this is the 80s and 90s, so he probably had multiple uses. Like I said, they probably, man.
I mean, they could be anything. Anyway, he leads her into what she calls a small kitchen. Well, she calls it a kitchen with a small bar. It's weird the way she goes into detail what the rooms that she's in kind of look like.
Sounds like she's embellishing a little bit
for
dramatic effect.
Yeah, and not for nothing, but one person's decoration is not another person's. I mean, to each his own. It's not your house, so what do you give a shit? You take it for what it is. He's Prince. I mean,
and that's probably
he wears chapless pants and heels. He can put aluminum foils on his windows if he wants.
And that's probably his playhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like his chill.
Yeah, we don't know if that's his main residence. Exactly. Like, we don't know if that's where the really weird shit goes on, So, and, if you have a lifestyle like that, you'll probably get your own house for weird shit like that. So,
absolutely.
But anyway, she's in this kitchen and I guess, has to wait. She's been waiting for a few minutes. Now, who does this? She starts peeking through his cabinets.
Which is kind of fucked up.
If
you're gonna peek through Prince's cabinets, you get what you find.
Exactly. So she says, and this is very dramatic, soon there's a swoosh sound and a sweet smell from somewhere behind me. I turn around, Prince is in the doorway, old fluffy cuffs. That's what she calls them, old fluffy cuffs. Seems like he's wearing literally all the makeup ever applied to the face of Boy George. Now, that seems a little dramatic in, as far as your opinion goes.
I mean,
someone who wears nothing but a turtleneck, no hair, no makeup. No,
I mean, if
you don't have to. Nobody's,
I mean, if he's gonna, so far, I want to chase her around a car on the freeway. So
it sounds like she's being a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want you. Now, again, we still don't know why she's there, why she's been invited there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Does the article say so?
Yeah, it does, and it goes into fairly soon.
Okay.
Anyway, even her descriptions of him when she's talking about it in the book is a little weird. She calls him the purple one. Asked if she wanted a drink, and she asked for anything non-alcoholic. So he turned around, he reaches up into a cupboard, and he grabs a glass. And then, according to her, he quickly spins around and slams the glass on the counter in front of her really hard and says, "Get it yourself." Which, it sounds, I don't know.
Once again, sounds like one of those embellishment sort of situations.
It could be.
It could have been. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he could have been like, help yourself, like,
or it could have been,
here's a glass,
Exactly. Here's
choose
the glass.
what you want.
Here's the glass, rock and roll.
Exactly. Sometimes there's a little bit lost maybe between Americans and other
plus
people.
In the same token, he's Prince.
Yeah, he's not your servant.
He's either way, he's Prince. Like, at the time she met, this all happened, Prince would have already had a career. And a persona. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, he's Prince. So
exactly, he's Prince. I mean, get it yourself. You want something you want some water? Go in the fridge. You see the fridge. He got you a glass.
And now that's a cool story you can tell your friends. Prince handed me a glass. I went up in his fridge.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't you be like, he was so cool. He let me do whatever he wants.
He had Sunny Delight. He had OJ. He had the purple stuff.
Exactly. It's almost like she already did something wrong, and she feels like he knows, and you know what I mean. And that's the way she's looking at. It's just very strange.
It sounds to me also like she was expecting. She got what she was expecting, which was weirdness, but she was expecting that maybe for her, or maybe behind closed doors, it's all a facade. So Prince is just a regular guy. You know what I mean?
Like he's a character outside of his.
He's a character
music.
outside of. So for her, when she would come over, hey, I know I'm Prince. I know I have this reputation for being weird and
Yeah.
and doing everybody weird and treating everybody weird. But for you tonight, I'm just gonna be regular old Prince Nelson
Yeah.
Rogers. I think that was. I don't even know what his last name was.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I'm just gonna be regular old P. You know.
Yeah.
Like my friends used to call.
Call me LP.
Yeah, just call me old P.
Well,
Perp. Call me Perp.
well, apparently, him slamming this glass down on the counter made her feel it. I guess it's a trigger because she was abused, and she says that she felt trapped in that moment because his behavior, like I said, his behavior triggered that of the abusers in her past.
Okay.
She said she's seen it before growing up and blah, blah, blah. So at this point, she starts mentally checking for exits without taking her eyes off of him. So now in her head, alone, in her head, nothing else is going on out here. In her head, she's being chased and she's got to look for a way out.
In all this time while this is happening, Prince is none the wiser of what's going on in her head.
No.
Or he's either like, what the hell is wrong with this lady? Or two, he's not even paying her any attention because now that she's there, he doesn't have to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Pay her attention.
Absolutely. And, then she realizes, I guess, okay, I can find a way out. She's not even sure where the front door is. This house is so big. And she also doesn't know where she actually is. She's in the middle of some hills somewhere, so she's not really sure what to do. And he starts approaching her and says, he starts screaming at her out of nowhere, apparently. After a few minutes of not speaking, he just starts yelling, "I don't like the language that you're using in print interviews." And she says, "What do you mean language? You mean English?" I think at that point she was being sarcastic. Now,
and I think it's for the book. Something tells me I don't feel like that's the way it went down. But then again, I wasn't there. So.
Yeah, because she was like, "Well, if you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself." This all sounds like it went from 0 to 60 with nothing happening in between.
It also felt like it went from the little bunny rabbit in the bear's den. Now the bunny rabbit is
holding a chainsaw.
Yeah, holding a chainsaw, and all the bears are like, ugh,
exactly.
And it's like, okay, when did that dynamic switch? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I guess she says that to him, and it really pisses him off. But he contains himself. How you go? Okay, now you're panicking, and then you go to sitting at the table with him,
exactly,
where there's barely any light now. And he's barking out orders to the guy that had originally opened the door for her. And he brought out 2 bowls of soup. And she's describing how the man who's serving him, how he's got this demeanor of a child that's been beaten. Like, that's how he's carrying himself. And she finds that odd and strange, and why, So I guess he orders the dude to serve Sinead O'Conner the soup. And she said she wasn't hungry. Prince insisted, and he ordered the guy, and I guess what she sees as a humiliating way, to serve her the soup anyway. Okay. And she's still refusing. And then she says that he drops a bombshell. He turns his vicious little face to mine and says, in a tone normal people would use when discussing feces, "This, by the way, is my brother Dwayne." And I guess she introduces him to this person.
Okay.
And now she goes on about how disgusted she is and stunned, and how he treats his own brother. Again, what does this have to do
this is all your
with
opinion.
anything?
Yeah, this is all your
First,
opinion.
You now have an opinion about the person who drove you, the house that you drove up to.
Exactly.
How often you had to ring the damn doorbell.
Yeah.
The dude that opened the door and said nothing.
Who's been trying to be nothing but accommodating the whole time.
Exactly. And now you got an opinion about what this guy's personality is. The fact that he tells you to get yourself something to drink. He probably just said, "Go ahead and get yourself something to drink."
Yeah, do you?
I
got plenty.
His decor in his house, which, if you come up in my house and you insult my decor, you can leave, because I don't care about your opinion. If you don't like it, it makes you uncomfortable, you could go. So, You don't walk into somebody's house who invited you in and start making opinions about the aluminum foil on their windows. I'm just saying.
I mean, once again, if that's something you want to do, then what's the context? Is this funny? This doesn't sound like this is the comedy excerpt. This is an excerpt from the comedy section of her book. It sounds like she was just saying, "Hey, there was this one time I went to Prince's house, and boy, let me tell you what I thought."
It's one of those one time in band camp. You know what I mean? It's just.
But it ain't even like, let me tell you my version of things that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right, against a dead man, against the person who's dead now and is not here to tell his version of
you think you knew
what
Prince,
happened.
but here's a side of Prince that you didn't know.
Exactly, like people are dying to get one of those.
So in the end, why does he chase her around the car?
Well, apparently he comes out, wants to have a pillow fight, which is weird to me a little bit.
A literal pillow fight?
A little. He brings out 2 pillows, hands her one. She says in his pillow, there's something hard in it, designed to hurt, okay? So now she feels threatened and starts running for the door. She runs outside, and she says she doesn't want to scream apparently the driver's there. And she doesn't want to scream for him and cause attention, but then again, but she wants to call for Dwayne, but she's not sure. So then she says Prince runs out there and grabs her and brings her back in and tells the driver and Wayne and his brother to leave.
Okay.
Brings her back in, is screaming at her in her face. She manages to get out again, and because I guess he was going to drive her home, he grabbed his keys or whatever and had her by the arm or whatever. She breaks loose, runs into the woods, and just starts running through the woods. This is why I'm saying it's like a fucking movie.
And is this before or after Nothing Compares to You?
This is just after it debuted and hit #1.
Oh, okay.
And she started doing interviews and things like that.
Oh, okay. Hence why they probably haven't done too many other songs after that. I don't know. I know
most likely.
I know they had a falling out, but
this probably was the reason why.
But I don't know when it was in terms of that and when Prince did, because she was also on that. No, that's Sheena Easton that I'm thinking of. So yeah, but so she runs in the woods and he follows her.
No, he runs out of the house after her. She runs into the woods and she says that she hears him screaming, where the fuck are you going? Well, yeah, where the fuck are you going? You're running into the middle of the woods.
Wasn't there a scene like that in Purple Rain?
Oh, I don't know. You tell me.
Where somebody, the scene where didn't he push the girl in the water? Oh no, he made her jump into the water. I thought he also pushed her in the water too when she had, she got on like this. He got upset with her. He grabbed her by the face and he pushed her down. I don't know.
Well, she runs into the woods and, of course, yells that after her. And then she says she hears the car turn on and drive away. So I guess he drives off. Now, she's walking for a while, finally comes along the freeway and says, okay, well, now I can just hitchhike home. So Sinead O'Conner is on the LA freeway hitchhiking.
Okay.
And what happens in every movie when a person gets away and gets to a main road and starts hitchhiking?
The killer comes up.
Yeah, exactly. And she says that in her head, she just thought, let it be anyone but him. And of course, it's him. Mm-hmm. How perfect that would work out that way. Okay.
She probably knew where she was going to come out from where she walked.
Yeah. And I guess he rolled down the window and said, come on, stop being crazy or whatever. And she tells him now she's being, kind of rude because she starts saying things like suck my dick. And I hate when women say stuff like that. So he gets pissed when she starts screaming things like that. So he stops the car where it's at and gets out and goes towards her. And she starts running, but she starts running around the car. So he starts running around after her, not just screaming, nothing, nothing like I'm going to kill you or anything like that. But she does say that he did say, I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now,
so all of this was saying like it was the lead up to that time when Prince chased me around a car and said he was going to kick the shit out of me.
Yeah. So then she, out of nowhere, she realizes that as she's running around this car, that there are houses around.
Okay.
So she decides to run towards the house and start banging on doors to ask for help. And
oh my God.
I know.
I wonder if there's anybody that corroborate that story.
That's what I want to know. Exactly. And she says that's when he drove off.
Yeah, but at what point do you go in somebody's house and say, "Hey, can I use your phone?" Prince is I'm Sinead O'Conner.
Prince is chasing me.
Prince is.
Can you wait? Can you imagine?
Dig if you will.
Can you imagine that though? Can you imagine you home and you're watching TV? There's a knock on your door. You open up. She goes, "Hello,
Yeah.
I'm Sinead O'Conner.
Yeah. I'm Sinead O'Conner.
You know Prince? Do you know Prince, the artist formerly known as?" Oh no, wait, that came after, right? That was way after.
Yeah.
You know Prince, the purple guy?
The purple one.
The purple one?
That's how she looked at the door.
Do you know Prince? The purple one?
The purple one. He's chasing me. Oh my God.
He's chasing me and telling me he's going to kick the shit out of me. And this weird thing just happened to us at his house.
Prince comes up, high heels.
Those people go shut the door in your face, go think you crazy. Or might say, "Where the fuck are you at Prince's house anyway?"
They might say, "Come on in, yo. You mean tell me Prince is coming? Come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in.
We'll call him. We'll tell him you're here.
Yeah. Come on in.
Do you have his number?
Shit. What kind of car he driving? Hey, keep looking out the window."
And, and she just, of course, goes on to say how she called somebody, I guess, that was in the business with her and knew Prince, and, goes on to say how she never talked to him again after that. They never made contact again. But she thinks of Dwayne often in his situation because she really thinks of it fondly. This is a man who wordlessly motioned for you to enter the room and then only tried to serve you soup.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dwayne is whatever Dwayne is.
Am I missing a part of the story here where you and Dwayne had this brief love affair that they didn't tell in the book?
Oh, Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne.
Dwayne always that's why Prince treated him so bad, because Dwayne, he didn't have to put no effort in. Prince had to dance and jump around on stage and shit.
Slam glasses.
Yeah,
down
just to get some loving, just for girls to be like, cool. All Dwayne had to do was just stand there with a bowl of soup.
That's it. Soup.
Bowl of soup, Dwayne.
Soup. Maybe you caught him during dinner time.
So, okay, so wrap this up, because not for nothing, this book sounds boring. If this is the bulk, if this is the
I don't know what the rest of her book is about. I'm not interested enough to keep reading into what her rest of the book is about. This just kind of caught my eye because you're telling the story of this person who is dead. Like, it happened all this time ago, and you're only telling this now?
Yeah, it sounded like an interesting story a year or two after it happened.
Yeah.
But at this point, children have been born and have had children since this has happened. So it's not an interesting story.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe if she was in her 70s, you know what I'm saying? And then she was writing a super tell-all, maybe, because, who doesn't want to hear stories from some old person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just, some
My
regular
guess
person.
is that the rest of her book is not that interesting, so this will be the thing that draws them in.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Good luck to you, O'Connor.
Yeah. So we got the Prince versus.
Yeah, that's what she looks like now. She's 54 years old.
She's doing her thing. Maybe she's been out of the. She's probably just been chasing a different life now. I guess I don't know. I don't know how to really say it, but.
I don't know what she's been. I didn't follow her after that. I didn't watch the Where Are They Now on her. If there was one.
No, Where Are They Now for Sinead O'Conner?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Peace out, Sinead O'Conner.
All right.
Nothing compares to you.
Nothing compares to you, Sinead. You were good while it lasted. So. And with that said, we're going to. Oh man.
Que pasa?
No, I was trying to be cute. I was going to throw in a little versus sign right there between the two of them, but didn't work out. I was going to do it on the fly.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. So, alrighty then. So with that, we are going to step away for a second, recalibrate, and then we'll be back. Love my baby.
Hey guys, it's JMC here from TMC4JMC show. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe,
And subscribe.
down below.
If not, we're gonna kill you. Nah.
We're not gonna kill you.
Love my baby.
We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.